Hello everyone, Replay X2X here, bringing you with a MOP fanfiction that I had just happened to find randomly on my own. This is called The Great Ponyville Snowball Fight. I'm going to see how it goes first, and we'll see. We'll see. Alright, here we go. The Great Ponyville Snowball Fight. The morning air carried a gentle chill, and as far as the eye could see, a pristine blanket of soft, white precipitate lay over the whole town. It sparkled faintly in the dawn sunlight, the surface smooth and almost unblemished save for a few hoof prints cast by those with reason to be up so early. Two such ponies skulked behind a sturdy, shoulder-high wall, built of hard-packed snow. It ran across the middle third of the wide road running from Town Hall to out of town, a short distance from Sugar Cube Corner. The barricade provided excellent concealment while the secretive duo concluded their nefarious preparations. "Quick! Shh! They're coming!" hissed Rainbow Dash, ducking quickly behind the snow rampart, unable to keep an excited grin from her features. "Ooh, this is so much fun! They're gonna be so surprised!" Pinkie giggled. "You bet they are," responded Dash, her rictus rictus? Rictus? Turning determined as she gathered a scoopful of snow into her forehooves and began to fashion it into the implement of her enemy's imminent destruction. "I can't thank y'all enough for this, Twi. I'm pretty sure I already have, Applejack. You've been thanking me since we left the farm. Well, I really appreciate it, that's all." The two friends trudged forward in the vague direction of the town hall, Applejack pulling one of her smaller, two-wheeled box carts, now empty after their morning's work, through a narrow path in the belly-high snow kindly forged by Twilight's magic. Applejack continued, "It would have taken me hours to make those deliveries hauling my cart out through all this. But now, it looks like I'm actually going to have the rest of the day to myself." It's no big deal, really," Twilight replied with a smile. "I'm always happy to help a friend." "Well, if y'all ever need anything, okay. Well, if y'all ever need the favor returned, Sugar Cube, you just gotta ask." It took Twilight a couple of moments to notice that not only had Applejack cut her dialogue off, she had also fallen out of step. Looking back over her shoulder, she saw her friend stood still, frozen in mid-stride, her face covered in snow, with only her surprised eyes visible as she blinked. "What the—" started Applejack, even as Twilight broke into a giggle. The expression on Applejack's snow-adorned face was hilarious. It was the expression. What? It. That's the narrator talking, though. Not okay. It was Twilight's turn to blink as something soft, cold, and wet struck the side of her cheek. Looking frantically about, she scanned the locality for the source, but could only see snow-covered landscape and icicle-laden houses. Another soft impact. Another soft impact, this time to the back of her head, was followed by the sight of a snowball splattering into Applejack's side. Twilight wheeled around. Twilight wheeled round to face the direction of the assault, only to catch another snowball full in the face. I can just picture that, like her automatically like turning around, like, "Hey, Twilight, what?" And right in the face, just pwned. Wiping the snow away, she now saw a low wide and sturdy-looking rampart about 30 feet down the road towards Town Hall, not far outside Sugar Cube Corner. She hadn't seen it at first glance, being made from the same pure white snow that covered everything she could see. It had blended in. It had blended in. But now, she registered it as the source of the attack, and for just a moment, above the top of the wall, she thought she glimpsed at... above the top of the wall, she thought she glimpsed... She glimpsed of a tuft of... She thought she glimpsed of a tuft... That doesn't make sense. Above the top of the wall, she thought she glimpsed of a tuft of multicolored mane. Oh, this guy's British. Or European. No, whatever. Applejack must have noticed the same, because she glared at the wall and began in an annoyed voice. Rainbow Dash? Oh, God. Rainbow Dash? Is that you? Fuck. Rainbow Dash? Ah. I can do this. Don't fret. Rainbow Dash? Fuck. Rainbow Dash? Was that you? I make her sound southern. Like Louisianan southern. Oh, I can do this. Hang on. Applejack? Fuck. God damn. Rainbow Dash? Is that you? The quiet sound of two ponies' stifling chuckles preceded Rainbow's response. I've got you right in my sights, Applejack. Surrender now. Yeah! Pinky's voice also chimed in from behind the wall. Surrender and buy us milkshakes? Why, all of the... Careful, AJ. Rainbow's voice interrupted. That didn't sound like a I give up to me. Want to try again? Come out from behind that wall and we'll just see how tough. Bzz, bzz. Time's up. In unison, Rainbow and Pinky's upper bodies appeared from behind the top of the rampart, each grinning widely and their forelegs cradling many snowballs. Whoa, Nelly, breathed Applejack, her eyes wide, even as Rainbow and Pinky began to hurl their projectiles at them. Several direct hits were scored on both Applejack and a still dumbfounded Twilight Sparkle, even as Applejack spurred herself to action. In a fluid motion, she pulled her cart in front of Twilight, drew it parallel with the barricade down the road, and released her harness. Quickly stepping to this, put the cart between herself and her assailants. She then pulled the top edge of the sidewall forcefully with her hooves. The cart toppled over towards her, coming to rest on its left side with one wheel buried in the snow and the other directed at the sky, spinning softly. The floor of the small wagon now faced the rampart and provided a basic level of protection from the relentless attack. Twilight! Hunker down! God, that was a horrible impression. I'm sorry. Called Applejack, taking shelter. Twilight didn't need to be told twice, shaking the snow from her coat and ducking to take cover behind the cart next to Applejack. She was confused as to why her friends were pelting her, but at the same time, the sudden surge of adrenaline from being under fire had made her most giddy. And as snowballs continued to thump hollowly, hollowly, how would you say that? Hollowly, I guess, into the wooden base of the cart, that giddy, excited feeling grew. What are the Redo. What are they doing? She asked frantically. But she noticed that far from the annoyed expression she had expected to see Applejack's... I cannot talk. I'm sorry, everyone. What are they doing? She asked frantically. But she noticed that far from the annoyed expression she had expected to see, Applejack's face had instead broken into a wide grin. Rainbow Dash reckons she's got the drop Rainbow Dash reckons she's got the drop on us, Applejack said, her eyes lighting up even as she gathered a mound of snow in her hooves and quickly fashioned it into a sphere. But rather than throw it, she set it aside and made the repeat process. Oh, I'm sorry, and made to repeat the process. Finishing her second example, she offered it on a hoof to Twilight with a grin. I'm going to need your help, Twilight. Here. Yeah, I got that right. Twilight took the snowball in her hoof, even as Applejack began preparing a third. Oh, whoops. Twilight took the snowball. Ah! Ah! Twilight took the snowball in her hoof, even as Applejack began preparing a third. It was well built, solid, but somehow not hard, and almost perfectly round. They have ice cream scoops for hooves. How would it not be perfectly round? And almost perfectly round. Applejack was clearly no stranger to the task, yet the whole thing seemed a pointless, frivolous exercise. Especially, author's missing a comma there. Especially for, oh, sorry. Especially for her most practical and pragmatic, especially for her most practical and pragmatic friend. She looked up at Applejack with an expression of curiosity as she continued to make snowballs with practiced ease, forming them into two piles in traditional one for me, one for you fashion. When it became clear that Applejack wasn't going to stop or give up, Twilight felt compelled to point out where their current tactical disadvantages outweighed their strengths. Applejack, we're... Oh, hang on, let me restart that. Applejack, we're never going to hit them from behind that wall here. From here. Ugh. And if we go out there, we're going to get pummeled. Don't you fret, Twi, replied Applejack calmly, her attention still on the task, and her grin still wide. And all the time Dash has... Oh, shit, whoops. And all the time Dash has lived in Ponyville, she yet to see the best of me in a snowball fight. She paused, looking up at Twilight with a thoughtful expression. What's the name of that pony? What's the name of that pony? The one who said if you know you're an enemy, you'll be alright? Twilight raised an eyebrow. Sun Tzu? That wasn't quite the full teaching. When did you start reading military philosophy? Oh, I pick up bits, pieces off Big Mac. Point is, I know Dash. She'll come out from behind that wall. She lowered her voice to a quiet murmur. For now, just stay quiet. For now, just stay still and real quiet. The thudding of snowballs against the base of the cart gradually lessened until eventually it stopped altogether. Then Rainbow Dash's voice called out again. So had enough yet, guys? Okay, let me redo that. So, had enough yet, guys? I still screwed that up, but okay. Applejack, still smiling, locked eyes with Twilight and brought a hoof to her lips. Guys, you ready to give up or what? Applejack finished her current snowball and held it poised on her hoof. Twilight held hers ready too, an uncertain expression crossing her features. Guys, you okay? The note of concern in Dash's voice quickly gave way to annoyance. Are you even still there? Oh, whoops, sorry, accent. Are you even still there? Did Twilight teleport you away? The voice was closer now, and a series of soft crunches indicated that its owner was walking cautiously through the snow towards her makeshift cover. She wasn't making directly for them, though. Instead, she seemed to be moving in a wide arc, giving their cart a curious berth just in case. A second series of louder crunches indicated that Pinkie Pie was bouncing merrily in the opposite arc. Twilight's adrenaline was still up, and still making her giddy and lightheaded. Their enemies were closing in. They were going to find them. And they were going to get them! With snowballs! Now I want a snowball. As the noise of the two approaching ponies got closer than ever, she couldn't help but feel just a panic start to rise. until Applejack met her gaze. Her sparkling emerald eyes. Bleh. Until Applejack met her gaze. Her sparkling emerald eyes carried a look of such confidence that Twilight immediately felt her nerves calm. Then, slowly, Applejack nodded once, twice, 3 times, and now! I think that is a good place to stop for here. Good cliffhanger. That is part 1 of the Great Ponyville Snowball fight. Yeah. I will be releasing part 2 maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. But for now, this Replay X2X logging off. Hope we all have a good day. Don't forget to tip your waiters. And eat snowballs. They're really good. None of the Twinkie stuff.